Abraham Lincoln once said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Greetings. My name is Joseph Yeager. Welcome to another Life in Perspective broadcast. My objective is to provide thought-provoking discussions so you can optimize your perspective on life. My early childhood in Israel, though full of playful memories, was also designed to always be ready for the imminent attack from the neighboring countries. We woke up almost every morning to news of hijackings, kidnap, and murder in the settlements lining the borders. Retaliatory operations would be swift, and military escalations to a full-out war was a daily alert. When I moved to South Africa at the age of 12, the apartheid regime was at its peak power. The daily news was dominated by violent escalations and demonstrations in the townships. Interracial relationships were unheard of for fear of reprisal. When I lived in Belgium, anti-Semitism was a societal ward, but much of what I saw in Israel and South Africa was a non-event. My closest friends were Muslim or atheist, and interracial relationships were as normal as any. When I moved to New York in 1987, it was supposed to be a melting pot. Yet despite what they tell you, it was anything but back then. It has come a long way since then, and social awareness has become more responsible to tear down the walls of color, race, religion, and most social differences that plague us. Of course, there are still those who choose to adopt hate and segregation, but in my opinion, it is blatant ignorance and fear, and will likely always exist to some extent. The misconception is most of us don't consider ourselves part of the problem, when in fact, we still contribute to it. It may not be outwardly, but does that make it any less significant? Before I continue, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so by clicking the subscribe link below. It's free and would be much appreciated. You may also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Documents such as the United States Declaration of Independence, the 15th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, and the Emancipation Proclamation all refer to equality, justice, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Noble ideas that were thrown out the window for the sake of profit and power. Slavery was a significant economic engine until after the Civil War ended in 1865. Women couldn't vote till 1920, and segregation ended in 1954. Yet during the Civil War, Negroes, Hispanics, and American Indians fought and fell side by side their white comrades. Their uniform as blue and their blood as red. During World War II, Japanese Americans, Italian Americans, and German Americans made the ultimate sacrifice in the Pacific and the beaches of Normandy. In Korea and Vietnam, it was no different. And while they united in battle oceans apart, fighting to protect these alienable rights, these same principles hung by a thread back home. What is it about our society that in time of peace it is the most conflicted? Yet when its very existence is on the line, it transcends all differences and unites. It is during the darkest of times and the most insurmountable tests that we rise to the occasion and experience our finest hours. This is where our biggest lesson lies, yet we continuously regress in time of peace. Why should a mass shooting, terrorist attack, or a war be a reason for us as a nation or a society to set aside our differences and sacrifice our lives to protect the values and rights we take for granted in times of tranquility? The greatest value we bring and the very reason we have thrived as a species is our diversity, yet labels and misguided beliefs tear us apart. The ability to explore, inhabit, and cultivate almost any landscape is our greatest gift, yet for power and profit, we'll overlook. When we come together and collaborate, we rebuild the destroyed and land on the moon. But when we're at odds, we threaten nuclear doom. So if united we stand and divided we fall, what I'm wondering is, will we survive at all? Please let me know what topics you would like my perspective on in the chat box below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.